Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have very special guest today joining from South Africa. We have the members of Hiraeth. Hi guys.
How are you?
Hi.
How you guys doing?
We are good.
Good.
So tell me, where are you coming from? Where are you zooming from?
Sure, various places. I'm in Joburg in South Africa.
Yeah,
Right,
our
different
drummer,
place in Joburg.
our drummer is actually currently in Mozambique at the beach. But I'm from Pretoria. I'm in Pretoria.
Right. How is the situation in South Africa these days with the COVID? I heard from the other bands that there were a lot of restrictions even for alcohol and stuff. So is it relaxing now or what? What's happening?
Yeah, we've lived through, I think, what they reckon one of the toughest lockdowns in the world. So we're tough guys, you know. But yeah, they're slowly relaxing everything now. Alcohol's coming back, so yeah, it's looking up.
Right. With the pandemic, when did you guys last perform live?
I think it was October. Was it October?
No,
November?
It was
November.
November. We had an
Yeah.
online show in January, but yeah, we didn't actually go out and perform. It was pre-filmed. So the last time we actually saw a stage properly was in November.
Right.
Yeah.
So guys, can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the band?
Okay, so
Who's
my
first?
name's Johann, and I'm the drummer.
Right.
I'm Luke. I play rhythm and lead guitar.
I'm Tom, and I
I'm
play
Mo-
bass. Sorry, Marty.
No, it's cool. Tommy, I can't see you. Hi, I'm Marty, and I am the clean vocalist and the only lady in the band.
So who is missing?
Gareth Reed, our screamer vocalist, and Warren Richards, our other guitarist.
Right. So I think I heard the name Gareth Reed before. So he's related to
From Riddle Break.
Riddle Break, right?
Yes, yeah,
But he plays guitar in Riddle Break, right?
yes.
Right. So I had Riddle Break a few episodes back. So that's probably how Marty. That's how probably we got connected also after that.
Yes,
Right. So
yeah, I watched your episode. It was awesome.
right. So before we talk about the band, can you guys tell me a little bit about you individually, about your childhood, and how did you get into music?
Cool,
Sure.
Johan, go for it.
Well, basically, if I should really think back, I think the first sort of musical influence I had was probably EDM, and then from there on, met friends, started playing bass in church. Then I started playing drums, and then got into more heavy music. I've been listening to Deftones all my life,
Right.
and that's pretty much my benchmark, my best go-to band.
Right.
Awesome.
I've played with I've been in bands since I was like 16 years old, playing drums, playing various things. When I moved up to Joburg in 2014, I joined a band called Thunder Mother, which was a Afrikaans rap rock metal type of thing. So that was very awesome. And then when that finished off, I was fortunate enough to join Hiraeth.
Right. How about the others?
Luke, go for it.
All right. Yeah, geez, music's been a part of my life. I think since I was a small kid, my granddad was a guitarist, also in many bands. So kind of grew up with music. And yeah, I've just been in the alternative scene since, as far as I can remember. I think since I was 12, I've been in like various little things and playing guitar. And I took it a lot seriously when I got to college, and haven't looked back. So it's part of my life. And that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tommy?
For me, it was definitely my dad was a big influence on me musically. He listened to rock and metal and all types of music. As long as it was real instruments, he was there. And so I've just been listening to music since I can't remember. There's like pictures of me with headphones on, listening to like Kiss and Iron Maiden and all these older bands that like I don't even remember, but there's a picture of me doing it type thing. So it's just been like a part of my life from the beginning. Yeah, then band wise, I started about 15 with my first like high school band, and then it turned into a gigging band, and then yeah, man, it just blew up from there. Just been in bands since then, loving it.
Right. How about you, Marty?
Cool. I started with singing lessons since I was 6 years old. So I've been singing my whole life. I did a bit of piano lessons when I was younger, and then it stopped. And so, yeah, singing's always been a part of it. And I eventually ended up studying music for 4 years at COPA. I think some of our other members studied at the same institute. And that's also where I met Gareth, our vocalist. And that's how he asked me to join for the band Hiraeth. So this is obviously my first band. I've never been in a band prior to Hiraeth. But yeah, singing my whole life.
Right, Marty. So being a vocalist, who do you look up to? Like, who's your favorite vocalist?
I am such a fangirl for Lena Scissorhands from the band called Infected Rain.
Right.
Yeah, she is my top favorite. She's everything I want to be. I'm like super fangirling over her.
Right. So Johann, what about you? Who are your like go-to drummers?
Drummers, there's so many. It's hard to pick up. I mean, it's Carter Beaufort from Dave Matthews Band, who's excellent.
Right.
There's the new guy from Slipknot. What's his name? Weinberg or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's excellent. Danny Carey from Tool.
Right.
Yeah, dude, there's so many. There's really so many. If I had to choose one, it probably has to be Danny Carey.
Right. How about you, Luke?
Also, that's sure broad answer. I think most influential will probably be Adam Jones from Tool. Lately, more, I'd say like your Pliny, like more the prog guys,
Right.
Steve Wilson from Porcupine Tree. I'm really enjoying Rebecca Masad at the moment. I think he's one of the most phenomenal songwriters like on the planet. So yeah, that's my influence.
Right. And Tommy, how about bassist wise?
Man, there's so many. Like one of the things that always stuns me about bands that I really enjoy is I end up thinking it's guitar a lot of the time. Like with Tool, for so long, Dustin Chancellor's parts I thought was guitar. So I always like thought of Adam Jones as like this idol for Tool, and then suddenly realized, whoa, half of the stuff I really love is actually Justin Chancellor. That's the bassist. Like that's amazing to me. To me, like that's my top bassist because of that. Like he's one of the only guys I know that's literally can play a bass part that blows your mind thinking it's guitar most of the time. On top of that, definitely Chi Cheng from Deftones was a huge influence. The dude from Mudvayne, I don't actually know his name, but that also was a like poignant part of like bassists for me.
Right. So guys, I only discovered that the South South African metal scene or rock scene only just last year during the quarantine, because I got connected with few bands. So before that, I didn't know any bands from South Africa. So although I was listening to so many bands around the world, so can you tell me a little bit about the scene in South Africa? Is it big? Is it small? How is it? Can you tell me like what how's the scene?
Luke, go for it. I think you've been the longest in the scene, you and Johann. And
Sure.
Tommy.
Yeah. Look, I'd say that the scene is, I don't want to say small, but it's because we live in a pretty
Intimate.
diverse country. Yeah, I mean, we live in a pretty diverse country. So your more traditional music tends to sort of overshadow everything else. But for what it is, it's a very supportive scene. There's immense amounts of talent. I just wish, as a country, we could support the bands a bit more from the arts and culture sort of side of things. But yeah, it's a growing scene, and I think it's, having been in it for so long, the bands have really shown what they can do as far as an international scope is concerned. So yeah, I mean, it's a very fast growing scene. That said, I mean, that's my point of view.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty amazed with the bands that I come across, because there are a lot of talented artists coming from South Africa.
Mm.
Definitely.
Right. So
Yeah.
talking about the band, Hiraeth, so who can tell me how the band started?
Luke.
Sure, I think I'll have to take that one again. Sure. So I had this idea in, I think it was probably around 2015, and it started as a sort of a solo studio project. I decided, cool, I'm going to go get a 7-string guitar and start writing music, and it really became something bigger. And I approached Gareth, and we had a concept band called Proving Grounds. And maybe a year later after that, we had a few tracks, and the band started slowly growing in members. So we got Warren in, we got Tome, eventually Johann and Marty as well. And yeah, 4 years later, here we are. So it's just grown, like exponentially grown over like 4 years. So yeah, very proud of my dudes.
Right. So I wanted to ask you about the band name, because I was looking at the word, and I saw that it's a Welsh word that but probably with the Welsh word is a different meaning. So can you explain to me about the band name?
Yeah, Marty, take this one.
So yes, it's definitely a Welsh word, and the meaning is still the same. So what we did was we only changed the pronunciation, because the Welsh pronunciation would be Hiraeth. So we were like, I think we should make it a bit more English. So Hiraeth was the best option. And yeah, it means nostalgia, or a longing for something, or a home, or a person that you can't go back to, or that doesn't exist. So we chose the name because of the meaning, actually.
Right. So Tommy and Johann, do you remember how did you get connected with the band? Who invited you, and tell me a little bit about that?
Well,
Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah,
sorry,
go ahead, man.
no, bro.
Okay. So like for me, Gareth and I were actually introduced in a different band. I was in another band at the time, and Gareth became vocalist for a different band. And through him, I actually got introduced to Luke and the Hiraeth guys. We were still called Proving Grounds back then. And yeah, man, it's just been a whirlwind of awesome musical talent since then.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, I got to meet Luke through actually friends of my wife's that she worked with. And I met Luke at a braai one night, and we were chatting like, "Hey, dude, are you in a band?" "Yes, I'm in a band." "You in a band?" You know how that goes. And probably like 2 years later, he called me up and said, "Hey, dude, you want to join Hiraeth?" And I told him, "Dude, I'm not that hectic prog metal drummer you guys are looking for."
Right.
And he said, "Come on over, just try it." And yeah, it was the best decision I've ever made. It's like really awesome.
Right. So you said the band is like 4 years old now. So during this time, so what are your favorite performances or shows that you guys did?
For me, was definitely when we played Cape Town last year, just before all the
It's a highlight.
It was an amazing gig. It was an even better party. Yeah, it was an awesome weekend. Absolutely.
Right. Any other shows, guys?
For
I
me,
think
it has to
the
be
first one, yeah.
the first
Go
one,
for it.
Yeti
I
Yeah.
Fest.
did 6 out.
As well.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
breaking the ice, the breaking
Yeah,
the
that
ice
was
one.
really cool.
It was fun, man.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't Johann have like Johann just joined the band and then we had a
Yeah, it
gig
was
in
my
like
first
2 or
gig
3
with the
weeks.
band, and I haven't gigged for like 2 years or so.
Right.
So, yeah,
It was a
that was
good one. Sorry, guys.
So what really attracted me to I mean, I really love the sound of your bands. You have a very good, something between progressive and metalcore, something that's really attractive. So how did you guys figure out this sound, that this is what you guys wanted to do?
Luke?
Yeah, I'd say it's a lot of my, I don't want to say my fault, but a lot of my influence. So, I mean, I've always been attracted to metalcore as a sound. And I hate using this word, but when the gent movement started sort of around 2012,
Yeah.
with your Peripheries and Tesseract and everything else, I'd sort of incorporated a lot of that into the metalcore side, which is, where a lot of the bands have gone these days, sound-wise. And I think we just hit something unique because of all the influences we brought as members into the band. So, I mean, as much as I bring in, say, a metalcore sound, there's still, things of like Tool and punk and progressive. Like, there's a whole bunch of influences coming in.
I think,
So I think
all of us-
we've
all of
molded a
us bring
sound.
product together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So because I sort of hear a very whole, something very complete when I listen to your songs, because it's very, I think that's sort of that Tool sort of influence, right?
Definitely, I would say most of it, yeah, because I think all the instrumentalists in the band were heavily influenced by Tool. I know my fellow guitarist Warren, you would agree with us. So I think, yeah, you're right. A lot of the influence comes from that side.
Right.
Just heavier.
So with regards to the vocalist, you have a clean vocalist, and then you have screams and growls as well. So Marty, how does this work? How do you guys figure out, about how to use the vocalist in songs?
Dude, I think she
Luckily,
just
Gareth.
makes it mad,
Luckily, Gareth and I have a really good work ethic when it comes to writing and singing together. I think we give each other a lot of space to do what the other person needs to do. And usually when we listen to the music, you can kind of just know where this part would suit a screamer and where this part would suit clean vocals a bit more. So sometimes we sit together and we write lyrics and melodies together, and sometimes it's completely apart. But yeah, we work really well and we give each other enough room, which is great.
Right. So you guys released an EP, it's 4-track EP, Aeonian, right? Aeonian.
Aeonian, yeah.
So how is the response to that EP?
Oh, it's been really good.
It was good given the circumstances, I think people was excited for it. I think people we received a lot of good feedback on it. I think although the timing could I don't know. I think the timing was good, but it maybe could have been better considering everything that's going on in the world. But yeah, we had to do something,
Yes.
and not sit around and wait for everything to blow over.
Yeah, we had
Exactly.
this like choice to either release a 4-track EP or to work through and release a full-length album. And it came down to, do we have the time and the resources for another year to go by before we can release something that people can hear? So I think we made the right choice.
Yeah, I believe definitely, because all 4 tracks were amazing. Really good. I really love I've been listening to that even today when I was working. I was listening to your EP over and over. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Especially like Undying and Lucid. I really love those songs. So what sort of ideas or what do you think about when you write this song? So what sort of message do you want to put out from this song?
I think it starts with the sort of the instrumental track and how it invokes a certain, maybe an emotion or a feeling. And I think once we've nailed that, like the vocalists will, you know, use their magic to sort of bring it to life. So we usually discuss around a theming or a sort of an emotional feeling before the track is finalized. So it really helps with the direction, especially with lyrics. You know, if you're trying to convey I don't know, for instance, lucid, it's all about lucid dreaming.
Right.
And, you know, the vocalists sort of bring the song to life through, let's say, their own concept, but it's something that everyone can relate to at the end of the day. So there's meaning in the lyrics for everybody, which is freaking awesome.
Right.
But yeah, it usually starts with a concept in songwriting.
Whose idea was the lucid music video? Because that was very nicely done. The
Old Marty.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Marty, you want to talk about the concept of that and who directed that video?
Yes, so the idea and the concept and the direction of the music video mostly came from myself and Gareth. We planned around it, but also the videographer was amazing. His name is Russell Wells, and he's also a musician.
Right.
And what we did is I planned the whole music video minute by minute for him. So I laid it out on paper, and he took that and kind of added to it. And when we got to the shooting day, everything just flowed. We knew exactly what we wanted. It's like he tapped into my mind and saw exactly what I've been seeing in my brain, and he just brought it to life. So we really did make a good team, and very proud of the music video. It's different to your average South African music videos because, oh my God, South Africans cannot make good music videos. Sometimes, but it's getting better. Yeah, we've been getting some great South African music videos lately.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think also the videographer used some sort of a filter, right, for that
Yes.
You feel like some sort of a pinkish filter that is awesome.
Yes, he played between that peach color and that blue color, which kind of like also adds to the creative part of the imagery, which kind of makes the viewer feel like they're in a dream. It's not really reality because the music video is shot in a dreamlike state. So the color coding also helps with that creative part of it.
Right. Yeah, because and also when I was watching that video, it reminded me of this old video of. Have you guys seen this video of Kylie Minogue and Nick Cave?
I know exactly the one you're
Yeah.
thinking of. I know exactly the one you're thinking of.
Yeah,
I'll go check it out.
it gave
The
that
cave and the
same,
bad seeds, man.
yes, it gave that same sort of vibe from that video, especially the last part of the video. So you guys had a successful EP. So what's up? What's coming up? So what can we expect from the band in the near future? And what are you guys planning on doing?
Currently, I think the main goal is to finish up the songs that we have that's unrecorded. So to record those and get them out. So maybe a fully fleshed album would be great. Performing and show-wise, it is still very stiff in South Africa. We don't really know how fast shows will pick up just yet. So things are a bit quiet regarding live performances, but we've been getting into the online shows and the way they use that platform, and it's quite enjoyable and different. So maybe an online show in the future, hopefully, or a live show preferably.
Hopefully, right?
Definitely some new songs. I think we discussed this. We want to go a tiny bit heavier, so maybe just a heavier EP or album than the current one.
Even a band practice will be nice.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So isn't it that after this pandemic actually uh, let us realize, right? You know how things are important, right? How what things are like we take for granted, like even like having a cup
Oh
of
yeah.
coffee outside is for me it's like, uh we are in a lockdown still for like almost 1 year now. So but
Oh
although
wow.
yeah, so now things are kind of relaxed, but at least like when I go and have a coffee outside, when I can sit outside and chat to somebody, it's very I feel very appreciate gratitude for that right now, because I won't take for granted in the future. I will try to take opportunity of every opportunity I get, right? Because it's so with the pandemic, what do you guys individually realize? Tell us few things. Tell me few things. What do you realize about yourself or generally about life?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Just being more, I don't know, appreciate things more, appreciate the things you don't always think about, you know. Appreciate the fact that you can take your family out to a picnic, as
Mm,
simple as that, you know. My daughter has not seen the outside of our house for over a year. She does not go to supermarkets, nor does my wife, you know, if we can't help it.
right.
Yeah, dude, I just think that it's really showed us that you should be grateful for your opportunities and your current position and all
Right.
those things.
Yeah, it definitely gave us perspective of what is important and what really matters and things that you do take for granted. Absolutely. It's I think it's like a seriously shitty situation, but at the same time I think it has just given a lot of people that. It's given a lot of people gratitude.
Right.
For me, I realized how important human interaction actually is.
Mm,
Me being an introvert, I've always enjoyed just staying in my room. I'm studying from home, so I'm having a ball. But it gets to you, and eventually you realize that human beings are pack animals and we want to be around each other. And it's making a lot of people depressed for not being able to be around someone else. You know, a lot of us aren't lucky enough to have people with us in lockdown. Luckily, Gareth and I, we live together, so we had that support. But even having someone, not being able to see your family as much as you used to, or your friends or your bandmates, I miss these guys so much.
Yeah,
And
Definitely.
you
the last time we've
forget
seen
what
the
people are
whole
like.
band was November.
Mm.
It was November, yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't seen each other in like 4 months.
right.
Yeah,
Hectic.
and we used to practice every single week. So I saw these folks every week of my
Weekly.
life, and
Mm.
suddenly you don't, and that's very weird.
Mm.
Right. So
You done, Marty? Yeah, I think same. I agree with the guys. Just you appreciate everything, that you've taken for granted up until this point, and I can say this. I'm very grateful to be in a position where I've got a job and I've got a family that loves me and good friends. And a lot of people are not in that position, like Marty says, where they might be living on their own, or so I know a lot of guys who lost their jobs over this period, and it's tough, man. It's a really tough world out there at the moment. But yeah, you take stock of what you got, and yeah,
right.
everything becomes more important, I guess, at the end of the day.
Right. So, Tommy, a side question: how long you been growing your beard?
I knew it was coming.
So it's been about 3 years,
Right.
3.5,
Right.
somewhere
Yeah,
around there. Yeah.
I'm getting there.
I don't really grow. It's just like grow and shave, like nothing on your on YouTube majestic beards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite
I have to
insane.
shave my beard daily.
Yeah, no, Marty's got the best.
I can't outshine these boys with my manly beard.
Yeah, because when Tommy appeared on the video, like for the first time, I had to look at, and I thought maybe it's like John Petrucci,
mystical unicorn person.
Right. So guys, what's your message to the viewers of this video, plus people who support you?
I would say go check out YouTube, go check out Facebook, check out all the music platforms for our EP. We've got some nice music videos on YouTube, and we've got our EP on all major music platforms. Yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, send us a message, whatever. Just enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone who.
And she's gone.
I think Marty got
She's like,
At least she got a thanks in. So
Sure.
yeah, that from me before I disappear as well. I just want to say thanks, man. Like, we wouldn't be where we are and have the recognition we do and the fans that we do without them. Like, I mean, it's half the reason we do what we do is to share the love, you know, share the music, share the message.
Right. How about you, Luke?
Yeah, as well. Just thank you to all the fans who have been, you know, listening and supporting to us since 2016. A massive shout out to the guys on our scene as well. The support from fellow bands and members of other bands, it's been phenomenal. You know, especially the guys I've gigged with for, I think, a good part of 15 years now. There's some bands that are ultra supportive, and they've done amazing things overseas as well. And they're generally the guys who come in.
Right.
So thanks to everyone. Yeah.
absolutely.
So Johann, Luke, Tom, and Marty, so thanks for joining the podcast. Really enjoy talking to you guys. I really love the music. That's why I invited you on the podcast. So looking
Thanks for having us, man.
looking forward to the full length album, and keep making great music.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
So thank you. Have a great day. So you guys it's morning for you, right? So have a great
Yeah.
day ahead. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, man.
Yes.
Cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Take it easy. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Cheers.